There is no amount of propaganda, there's no amount of gaslighting that's going to move me on what I view Israel to be, and I will ensure that people get accurate reporting on what Israel's up to, because the future of our country literally relies on it. This parasitic alliance with Israel needs to end, and unless we Americans make it abundantly clear that we will not tolerate this, we're gonna keep getting abused like this, and we're gonna keep seeing our media get snatched up by Zionist interests. And so remember, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. You deserve what you're willing to tolerate. Avowed Zionist fanatic Bari Weiss, who currently heads CBS despite only having a background in opinion journalism, is allegedly being considered to make the editorial decisions over at CNN. Now, I had hinted at this on the show yesterday, but apparently this has to do with the Warner Brothers merger with Skydance, which hasn't been granted yet, but many predict it will be approved. Axios reports that it appears that if Paramount Skydance's deal with Warner Brothers Discovery goes through, Weiss would oversee all news editorial across both CBS and CNN at the same time. So clearly, they don't really have any interest in providing any quality programming or investigative reporting. The whole point here is to micromanage these two news organizations to make sure that everything that comes out from these two news organizations is favorable to Israel and its narrative. That's what this is about. And so a source told Axios that Skydance, which merged with Paramount earlier this year, is very pleased with Bari Weiss's performance over at CBS, even though CBS's viewership has been tanking ever since she took the reins. So the Paramount brass loves Bari Weiss. She has the full confidence of David Ellison, I'm sure, who believes Bari has done a fantastic job as editor-in-chief. Bari has been involved with identifying people she would partner with on the business side. Now, the merger between Skydance and Paramount, as well as Weiss's appointment, was overseen by David Ellison. We've covered that extensively in the past. Ellison, according to the Jerusalem Post, quietly donates quite a bit to the state of Israel and the IDF. In fact, his father, Oracle CEO Larry Ellison, is the single largest donor to the Israeli Defense Forces. So their priority here is carrying water for Israel. And if they see any type of coverage in the media that isn't favorable to Israel, it's okay, we'll just buy up the platform and we'll control it. And that's what's happening. But don't ever say that the Zionists control the media. That would be anti-Semitic, right? Netanyahu directly praised Larry Ellison for purchasing a substantial share of TikTok in order to censor anti-Zionist content. Netanyahu also implied that Israel had its eyes on X, saying the following. Netanyahu boasted about using Elon Musk to manipulate X algorithm in his favor, saying, quote, "The other one that's most important is X. We have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy, he's a friend. We should talk to him." Nonetheless, as much as they try to censor these platforms, fact of the matter is there's so many people who are disgusted with Israel's conduct that they're speaking out, and some of this content is getting through anyway. The agenda undergirded these movements, these media consolidation was already a huge problem without the Israel component involved. The Israel component is making matters even worse, right? And so the news and the lack of trust in news-related institutions, it makes sense when you consider the fact that more and more Americans have access to independent media where they're getting truthful, in many cases, not in all cases, they're getting truthful reporting. And then if they turn to legacy media that certainly has been bought up by the Ellisons, they can see how untrustworthy these sources happen to be. So again, the lack of trust in these institutions is not without merit. That's what I'm trying to say here. But still, the mergers still have their detractors, as Axios reports. While federal regulators are expected to approve the merger, several Democratic state attorneys general and European regulators are still evaluating the merger. Oh, okay. The Democratic state attorneys general, they're evaluating the merger. Oh, we're gonna evaluate the mergers. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't buy it. The merger will go through, the Zionists will have their way, but we still have people power. We still saw what happened over the last nearly 3 years. There is no amount of propaganda, there's no amount of gaslighting that's going to move me on what I view Israel to be, and I will ensure that people get accurate reporting on what Israel's up to. Because our future, the future of our country literally relies on it. This parasitic alliance with Israel needs to end. And unless we Americans make it abundantly clear that we will not tolerate this, we're gonna keep getting abused like this, and we're gonna keep seeing our media get snatched up by Zionist interests. And so remember, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. You deserve what you're willing to tolerate.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.